It is me, Zach, full-time reseller, and I'm on the hunt for undervalued and underappreciated goods, clothing, and shoes to resell online for profit. As I always say, that is what I do for a living, and I am staking out my favorite Goodwill here in Durango, Colorado, getting ready to race in and hopefully find something good to flip. All right, bro, first shake of the day, or at least pound. How are you, my man? Good, brother. Good to see you. All right, first score of the day. Got an Ariat FR crew neck. Looks to be a little beat up, which is pretty standard with FR clothing. I'll go ahead and grab this guy. Usually I can get about 25, maybe 30 when they're really clean. This is 2XL. Got a Sims cotton crew neck with pocket. It is only $4 and it's Sims. Not sure what I can get because I've never sold this type of shirt, but it is Sims and I'm gonna grab it. Bread and butter piece here. This guy's in pretty good shape and it's only $5. Usually get about low 20s for these. Fortunately, it's a small, but it's a good color. I was on the fence about this guy. It's a Carhartt Pearl Snap short sleeve shirt, and it's a really nice shirt. It's a great size, but I just don't do that good on Carhartt short sleeve shirts at all. And the Pearl Snaps definitely level it up, but it's $9, and these just don't sell for that much, and they don't sell that quick. So I'm filing my walking papers. Normally I would walk on this shirt, but this is a Carhartt Rugged Flex long sleeve, and it is $8, but it's 30% off, so I think that puts it at like 5 and some change. I'm terrible at math, but I recently have done all right on some of the long sleeve Rugged Flex shirts, which is using really good keywords like construction, builder, outside, outdoors, concrete, heavy equipment, all those occupations that wear these kind of shirts, and Carhartt's my boy. So 5 and some change. I'm gonna go ahead and score this or scoop up this Mountain Hardwear women's jacket. It is only $12.99. Jacket sales have been dipping off as we're moving towards spring, but Mountain Hardwear is always solid. And this is a cool looking jacket. Price is there. Gonna grab it. Probably get 50, maybe 60 bucks. Got this LL Bean women's pullover. I forget. It's not a mock neck. Help me out in the comments if you can remember the collar style. But gonna grab it. It's the proverbial shoe lookover. And I'm gonna get out of here after this. There's some nice Brooks. Brooks are hit and miss for me though. If I don't find a good hat, I'm cutting out of here. And I don't think there's really any good hats, but I love Yosemite and that's Half Dome, and I've hiked that before. If you ever get a chance, you need to. It's exhilarating. The last 700 feet are at a 70-degree incline, but you do have to have a permit for it. It's a super cool chair. It's only $17. I actually thought about getting it for my daughter, but she has absolutely no space in her room because I got her plumb spoiled and her room's packed with toys and furniture already. All right, got out of there for about $40. I'm good with that. Not too bad of a haul from my first stop. There's mornings I come down here and sometimes maybe I only find 2 or 3 things. So glad to come out with kind of an armload. It was that way the last time I was here, which was about a week ago. Stoked about the Mountain Hardwear jacket, even though my jacket sales have been dwindling down. But if it doesn't sell this winter, it'll definitely sell by next winter. It's a really nice jacket, despite not being a puffer. And then 3 of the crew neck shirts I bought, including the Sims shirt, the LL Bean Henley, and the Ariat FR shirt, were all like $5. And that's a pretty good price because a lot of those often I find for $7, $8, $9, and I'll usually pass on them with exception to FR. But yeah, so I'm gonna race down, hit the Methodist thrift store, that second stop I always make. Kind of thinking about maybe running by and hitting the La Plata County Humane Society thrift store. I have not been in there in over a month. Just kind of curious if they're still trying to sell stuff like it's brand new down there. I've said this in past videos, the prices are just atrocious, and it always sucks to kind of limit out one of your stops. But sometimes when the price point's not there, it's just not worth your time. So really nice morning at the Durango Goodwill. Ran into 3 different groups of friends that are resellers. It started out with running into one of my newer friends named Phil, who is newer to the game, but I found out today that Phil is a retired lawyer. I kind of thought he was an intellectual, seemed like a really smart dude, and Phil can sing, so shout out Phil. You always got the tunes and you got that voice, so keep it up, man. I love hearing you sing. But I also ran into my neighbor, and I probably should have shot some footage with her. She had a basket full of stuff. So love you, Glenna. Thanks for always being on my home team. And then lastly, I ran into some locals, my friend Danny and his wife, and they're kind of more into hard goods, but it's just nice to have that community. When I did medical work, I was working with people constantly, and I got really tired of that. But now that I work for myself in a job where
about 80% of the day I'm alone, it's made me really miss the camaraderie of coworkers and also hearing other people's story. When I did medical work, every 45 minutes I was hearing about the patients I worked with's lives, the things they were going through, their tribulations, their victories, and that could be really nice and it could be really draining. And so I've really developed a nice home team, and I know I've been preaching this thing about being friendly to the people you buy stuff with, but I think it's really good to have a community of people that support you that are resellers. I don't believe that this is about us being against each other or that we should be in competition with one another. I really think this game should be focused on we are against the corporate pricing strategies of a lot of these bigger thrift stores that are just pricing stuff out of the park these days. So I love my reselling friends and community. Make sure that you find that, and if you're shy, just go up and talk to somebody. Just ask them if they resell online if you see them in a thrift store all the time. It really takes nothing to be friendly. It takes very few calories to say hello, hi, how's your day, and I think that'll always win with you. And I know my reseller friends that I see at these thrift stores around Durango and even on my local scene back in northern New Mexico are often kind enough to point out the things I might be after, and I try to do the same for them. So just remember, we're all on one team here, all moving in one direction.
Let's see what Methodist Thrift has for me. Right off the bat, found this Patagonia organic cotton pullover. It's in the men's section, but it's a medium and it's actually a woman's. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. It's only $5. It's a little bit wrinkly, but it seems to be in good shape. Patagonia. Right, so I was walking by and I seen this puffer, and I was kind of hoping that maybe it was like an Arc'teryx or at least like a Patagonia or Mountain Hardwear. And it's from Walmart. Walk on George. George is no good. Outdoor research, outerwear, and especially headwear is money for me. This guy's got some fuzz peeling, but I'm gonna grab it. It's $3. Could probably get 15, maybe 20. Last stop, my reseller friend Phil had asked me about a pair of Wrangler pants. He thought they were cool. So here you go, Phil. That's what you're looking for right there. That little shield with the mountain. These are $5. I'm gonna grab across this decent pair of Sims chest waders. They don't seem to have any holes. They're in pretty clean shape. It is an older style and they got them at 25, but I should be able to get 50, 60 for these. All right, so I got 3 pieces at the Methodist thrift store. I know there's that outdoor research beanie somewhere in there, but yeah, I wish I didn't have to pay so much for the waders, but Sims is money. So I'm gonna go back to being a broken record and encourage anybody that's getting started out to always think about the things that you can find in your area, especially if it's clothing. So if you live in Texas, obviously there's gonna be a lot of Western wear, high quality Western wear. Keep an eye out for that stuff. In my own circumstance, I live very near Southern Colorado. So we have several ski resorts nearby. We have an outdoor culture up here in Colorado that produces a lot of GORP or outdoor adventure apparel, which is one of my favorite things to sell. We also have a lot of industry, oil field, and so I come across a lot of work wear, flame resistant wear, and that's a big push for me. I tend to source most of that in the summer times at garage sales for dirt cheap and make a good amount of money off of it. And then we do have several golf courses in this area, but I'm really particular with golf shirts. I really just like the real high quality, high sell-through rate brands. So I don't buy a whole lot of golf shirts, but just keep that in mind. The things that are most predominant and prevalent in your area are going to be the things you find over and over again. I didn't come up with that. I got that from another more successful reseller when I was first starting out, and it's very much helped me to think that way. So I want you to think that way because I want you to have success, and I want you to get away from some shitty job and hopefully get to work for yourself like I am. It's great. So if you have made it this far, please reach out, hit that like button. I am going to go ahead and make my journey back down to New Mexico. I'm going to skip the La Plata County Humane Society thrift store. I just ain't feeling it today, and I do have some stuff to attend to once I get back home to try to reconcile a little bit of my tax information just to get that cleaned up and get it sent off to my accountant. So probably one more stop. Hopefully we'll have something better in New Mexico, and I'll come back to you after I transport.
Zach here, reseller, and I'm back at it again up here in Colorado. And I did want to apologize to everybody watching this video. I did have to cut film a little short and attend a matter the other day, so I wasn't able to make my last stop and close out the content of that day. But because I didn't find a whole lot that day, I just kind of decided to add today's sourcing to that video so I can share with you more stuff, because it's been a little bit slow up here in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico, but that's all right. But today, fortunately, I have one of my favorite people in the whole world. My daughter is joining along. She's a little bit shy and not crazy like her dad, but she didn't have school all this week because they were having some issues with their internet server, and so she got off lucky, but now she's got to put up with me out buying junk. So follow along. I'll share with you again everything I buy to resell online.
Morning, brother. How are you?
Good stuff.
Good, man. Good to see you. All right. Those are nice. I need to learn more about ski boots because there's some good money in ski boots, and these are super nice Nordicas, but they're priced at $45. Gonna skip these. All right, one of my favorite brands. I don't resell Volcom a lot because it just doesn't resell that well unless it's outerwear that's like snow, ski, that kind of stuff. But I love their sayings, and you got to be true to yourself. I found this Patagonia knit zip-up jacket, and I believe this is a women's, even though it's in the men's section. And despite it having the outside embroidery, that right there will sell this jacket, and it's only $8.99, so I probably can pull maybe mid-30s on this or high 20s, so I'm gonna scoop it. Turn and burn this circular rack, but I'll speed it up for all y'all. And I'm on the fence on this one. This is a Travis Matthews half zip golf pullover, and I've been selling the heck out of these lately, but it is priced up at $8.99, and I'm only selling them for about mid-20s, so not a lot of profit in this guy. Now, it's very lightweight and it's great size. It does have a little bit of a stain, so I'm gonna walk around with this guy, but I might just put it back. I stumbled across this Ariat long sleeve geometric print shirt, and then also this checkered wrinkle-free Ariat, but unfortunately one is $12.99, the other is $14.99. But for the right price, I usually try not to walk on Ariat. These are just way priced up, so gonna have to pass. I bumped into these Tailor Stitch men's dress pants. They're almost like a corduroy with sewn pockets. Priced up a little bit. Tailor Stitch is hot, so grab it. These are Adriano Goldschmidt Protege men's pants, and they're in a good color, but they're size 38, and I just don't like wide-waisted pants, so I'm gonna walk on these. Plus they're priced at almost $13 and some change, so a little too rich for my blood. So I found these cool hiking shorts, but they are size 38, and they got them priced at $10.99, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk on them just because the price and the size. But love cool, keep an eye out for that and that. All right, so I'm very selective with a lot of North Face pieces, but this knit zip-up jacket is a woman's, and the price tag says $4.99. They thought it was a kid's jacket, and despite the outside embroidery, that will probably sell it. It may not sell real quick, but for $5, I'm gonna scoop it. Please don't. I love vintage toys. I like old board games, but my daughter's already circled through this whole aisle, identified all the Squishmallows, and confirmed there's nothing worth buying here. So did find a handful of items that I wish the prices would have been a little bit better. There was like 7 or 8 really nice Ariat dress shirts, long sleeves, but as I said in the video earlier, they were just priced out of this world, and I like to be humble and stay on planet Earth when I'm spending for things to buy and resell online. So now I'm gonna boogie over and try to find a bathroom for my daughter to go potty real quick, and then we're gonna boogie up to the Methodist thrift, see what we can't find up there. We're doing pretty good on time, and if you've made it this far, please reach out there and hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Hey, what's the best part of not having school all week? Tell me one thing. So don't really have any huge tidbits of advice for any of you newbies out there, or any of you people that watch to try to find out the mistakes I've made, so hopefully you can do better.
One of the things, though, I really truly love about reselling and working for myself is the freedom to go, do, and choose as I please. And weeks like this, when my kids are off school, it just makes me that much more happy that I get to call the shots and I get to decide where and when I want to be when it comes to work. Now, that being said, it also requires a tremendous amount of discipline to get up every morning and go out and do this, and it may not be everybody's cup of tea. And so, as I have mentioned before, if you don't like shopping, if you don't like searching, if you don't like treasure hunting, reselling may not be for you. So hear those words again. If you don't like shopping, if you don't like treasure hunting, if you don't like searching and sourcing, this may not be for you. But for me, I'm not all that crazy about shopping, but I have some deep Irish, Scottish, Celtic roots. And because of that, I like a deal. And so that's probably part of it. And because I'm primarily a clothing reseller, I don't get all that excited about clothes. But what I have done is I've isolated certain items that I really love to look for. And when I do find them, that's the treasure. And so for me, that might be a really expensive outdoor adventure apparel brand like Arc'teryx. That's kind of rare, hard to find. Or maybe it's an old vintage Wrangler pearl snap shirt. Or maybe it's just a weird Pyrex bowl with a strange print on it. And beyond it interesting me, some of these things were items that like my grandparents were way into. And so both my grandmothers had Pyrex bowls. And so each time I find one, especially one that's worth a considerable value, it always makes me think that my grandparents are kind of shining down, that they're still looking after me. And when it comes to Wrangler pearl snap shirts, the brush poppers, my grandfather would wear the same chambray Wrangler pearl snap shirt every day, and a pair of dark wash starched Wrangler jeans and black cowboy boots. And so I try to look for the things that make me think of them, the things that inspire me, and above all, the things that I have interest in. And so I guess the point of this is there's a lot of freedom to reselling, but it also takes a lot of discipline, and it also takes having interest, and it's easy for your interest to wane. And right now, this is the slow time of year for me, and I'm primarily just sourcing clothing. But in a few more months, the garage sale season in northern New Mexico is gonna pop off, and it'll be really fun then because I'll be able to source more hard goods, and I like selling hard goods. It breaks the monotony of staging clothing and only doing clothing, and I really need to be better about trying to find more hard goods in the winter months when the picking is very slim. But I kind of lean on what I know, and that is clothing. So I hope that helps you, and I hope that motivates you, and I hope it helps you keep your head in the game, and it gives you some things to think about if you're wanting to make the transition from some kind of shitty job to working for yourself, because this too is still work.
All right, me and my daughter here at the Methodist thrift store are gonna see what we can find. It must be a Patagonia day, so I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up this half zip. It's fleece. It's only $4.50. Does have outside embroidery, but that don't matter. Like I said, that'll sell it. Sweet North Face piece, kind of like the last stop. It's got a cool logo hit. This is LL Bean River Driver Men's Henley Thermal, and be on the lookout for that extra layer of material. I believe that's what makes it the River Driver, and these usually sell for about 18 to 20 to 23 bucks. It's only 4, it's in good shape, so I'm gonna scoop. This is a Tiger Woods Collection golf polo. It's a huge size, it's a good price, and these will usually sell for about mid-20s. And so I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it. A business partner in crime. Normally I skip on these shirts, but this guy's pearl snap, and it's a plus size, and the price is like $3.50. So I am gonna actually grab it. Normally, if I had a huge death pile, I'd probably walk on a shirt like this, but not today. So these are Hoka's. They need a little cleaning, but I have sold this model before for I think like 60 bucks. They were in a little bit better condition. It's definitely paying up, but Hoka's are solid. Bread and butter here. It's a Patagonia Capilene base layer. I think this is actually a women's size. It is very clean. It's only 4 bucks. I can usually get about 18 to 22 on these. Stumbled across these Wrangler thick stitch jeans. They do seem to have a longer inseam, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. They're only $4. People all the time asking me to do consignment sales on painted plates, and these are Norman Rockwell, but painted plates aren't worth shit. And it's proverbial hard goods run, and not seeing too much. This thrift was fire today. Super glad about all the stuff I found.
Everything was a decent price, better than Goodwill prices. And even the lady that checked me out mentioned that. I also found some North Face zip-off convertible hiking pants, but I didn't get no footage of them because there was no price tag. And so I went ahead and had the lady I know race it back to the pricers, and they priced them at $7.50. They were clean, they were extra large, they were a newer style, so I was super stoked to grab those. And I would say today the best find was probably the tailor stitch pants, but everything I got was legit. A lot of Patagonia pieces, a lot of outdoor apparel pieces, and like I said, that's a big push for me. It's stuff that I wear, and so I'm passionate about it. I believe in it because I know it sells, and it's just one of those days that it's been a good day picking. So gonna go ahead and get my daughter down to a gas station. She wants to spend a little bit of money on some candy and some chips, and she deserves that for putting up with me this morning. And then I'm gonna time transport back down to northern New Mexico and probably sneak into the thrift store right down the street from my house and see if I can't find anything good there. And if anything, get a couple hugs and get a few compliments, because I got the sweetest, prettiest little girl with me today. And like I said, super glad I can be with my kids and have a job that is flexible, that allows me to do that. So just made that journey down south to northern New Mexico. I'm right down the road from my house at the friends and family thrift store. Gonna race in here and say happy birthday to one of the staff members and look around, and then I'm gonna wind this thing down. So let's go.
So I haven't been in this thrift store in 3 or 4 days. Not sure if there'll be much to find, but when I do, the prices are always great and the help is the best here. So today this mission here was accomplished. So I did come across this 511 tactical polo, and it's in clean, good shape, but it's a small. I don't make a whole lot off 511 tactical despite it selling, and I don't sell a lot of small men's shirts, so I think I'm gonna walk on this guy.
Well, unfortunately, didn't find anything at the friends and family thrift store right down the road from my house here in Spencerville, New Mexico, but that's okay. I got to give some love to one of the most supportive, newest friends I've made since I started reselling nearly several years back. And it's just good to give that love when it's always given to you, the individual. You got to reciprocate. So today's been a great day. Spent almost $90. I may have said that earlier. I did come away with some really great pieces, and I'm happy with the haul, but I'm super happy about the nicer weather we're having and looking forward to some garage sales and some estate sales, because I am very much tired of paying up. It does cut into your profit margins when you're a reseller. So always be on your point, be on your purpose, find the things that you're passionate about, and go crazy for them. I'm out of here. Thanks for joining. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or please subscribe.